Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year profit solo consulting business right in front of your eyes. And the way that these videos work is that they follow the exact same framework every single day. It starts with you asking your questions down below, and then I'll actually answer it in tomorrow's video. So we start with questions from the audience. It's a good engagement hack, and it makes me get to know you and help you in your business, and I get to learn more about my audience. Then I'll do some business stats. This is just me showing you the growth of my social channels, revenue, cash, everything in between, very transparently. Then I'll run you through my to-do list, so what I did today and what I'll do tomorrow. And then in the end, I'll strategize on my bottlenecks, on how I get to $1 million a year in personal profit while following these rules that is on screen right now. So I head over to my daily updates channel. It is right here. It's the channel you're watching right now. I head down to community, and you're probably wondering why I have interacted with all the comments. Well, my internet decided to cut the last time that I recorded this thing, so today we only had one question, which is basically from Joseph. So I'll answer your question again here, Joseph. So now I am double prepared for your question here. All right, bro. I'll still read it out loud though. Love the previous video. Thank you, bro. Recently went full-time with my own business. Congratulations, man. It's a big step. So your mindset around balancing work and rest really resonated. I appreciate that. One thing that I'm struggling with is this. When a video underperforms on my channel, I tend to react by making broader content that gets more views, but it doesn't really attract the right people into my business. How do you personally come up with these content ideas that attract high quality leads or potential clients rather than just chasing views? Any mindset shifts, frameworks that you use would be really, really helpful. This is a really intelligent question. I appreciate that, Joseph. So the first thing that we need to cover here, right, is that likes and cash is definitely not true, right? Likes does not equal cash. Many followers does not equal a good business, and being famous or whatever it might be definitely doesn't make sure that you end up having a profitable business and you make millions of dollars a year, or even $100,000 a year, right? But I understand the way that you think, Joseph, right? Because we are like that. This is how we're raised in society, right? Famous people make money, right? Actors, soccer players, NBA stars, singers, musicians, like all these famous people that has a lot of people in their audience, like that's how they make money, right? So of course that is how we tend to go about it, and it's a natural reaction, right? First of all, bro, the thing that you want to start measuring is that underperformance for you. Oh, it's zoomed very weirdly in here. Underperformance, bro. What is underperforming for you, right? Right now, let's see if I can actually spell here. Right now, underperforming, right? Underperforming for you right now, bro, is views, right? Bear with me here, sorry. And you need to flip your mindset on that, bro. Underperforming for you should be cash, right? And then we need to separate these two, bro, into different boxes and different kinds of content, all right? Because there is pieces inside of your business that needs to attract new people, right? When we think about a business, it is like this. It is views right here, then it is nurture, then it is sales, and then it's delivery, right? Some videos takes care of this one, some this, and you can argue that content is delivery if you have a video course, a program, a community, but inside of your YouTube channel, you can't really deliver to clients, right? So the main thing here, Joseph, is that you have different videos for different purposes. In my own business, I personally run ads to make sure I get the right people in, and then most of my content is pretty boring and nurturing, right? So I'll show you my own channel, bro, and then I'll run you through it live right in front of you so that you can get an understanding of why I make the content that I do. All right, because I also think that the most important thing is actually just your packaging, because you want to get the right people in.
I make $40,000 a month.
Oh my goodness, shut up, that guy. You want to package your videos so that they're interesting, but then you want to make sure that the value and the knowledge you provide throughout your videos is actually content that converts, right? So my videos are packaged. This means that the title and thumbnail actually wants people to click if they are that person, right? So this case study, for example, is very intentional. I've taken beginners from 0 to 20k a month, But I'm not really interested in that because I want to work with established people, right? So my case study on my channel is an established person going from 8K to 44K a month, right? So that is how. This one is my VSL. So that is a video that I want everyone to watch before working with me because it gives clarity to my offer, my pricing, my cases, my philosophy, and everything that I do, right? And I'm a big advocate for never going viral. So I made a whole video on how to build an audience of buyers. So maybe you should watch that, Joseph. Maybe you have already. And then I packaged it, right? Really good thumbnail. And then I did the fastest way to 100K a month, the coaching business, and why I'm not doing it. So it is titles that gets people through the door, Joseph. But in the inside of the videos, I try my very best to speak to the right audience, which is my target audience, right? Let's head back into your question here because it's very normal. Just run it like this. So what you need to do, bro, is that you need to start making a content strategy, right? You need to make a strategy for when you do videos that gets views and then videos that nurture. All right. Mine is 90% here and then 10% here because I'm running ads, right, bro? So yours should probably be, let's say, 40% that gets people in and 60% that converts, right? And then try to see, bro, if you can package your videos a little bit better. So let's see here. So this one is good, right? Because it shows 50K and it shows your proof. 10x your editing income in 8 minutes. I would probably add something along the lines of go from 2K a month to 20K a month, or go from freelancer to business owner, or something where it's like, people have money. 3K a week is a pretty good number for getting people in who also want to make 3K a week. I like that. This one is also better. So I actually think that you're doing quite a good job, bro, with your titles and thumbnails. So to be completely honest with you, bro, I think it is the fact that it is editing, right? Editing is a bit of I think, bro, if you just framed yourself as someone who helped people with videography, make money from visuals, editing, video, personal brand, short form content, long form content, it would be a lot better. But the whole editing thing is kind of swarmed a little bit with people from third world country because I know that because I'm getting so many requests. So I think, bro, this was a bit of a longer answer, a lot of different things that I touched on. It might not be the best answer looking back because there were so many different components to it. But, bro, please try to take this feedback and then send me another message on what kind of thoughts I sparked inside of your head, and then let me know, because I'm kind of interested in your case here, because it seems like you're doing well and we just need 1 or 2 tweaks, and then I see a pretty clear path for your business and your offer. Not gonna lie, I work with similar people as you. I've actually taken a guy, bro, that had an editing community from 10 to 30K a month, but he had what you don't. He had a lot of volume, so he could play the game of lower ticket monthly subscription because he had a lot of traffic. What you do, bro, is that you're really good at what you do, but you don't have a lot of traffic, which means that you should do like me and sell high ticket, because then you don't need many people to reach your goal. And then you can use the cash flow to build more broad content so that you can go to low ticket and the high ticket, and then you're making $1 million a year. All right. So please, bro, take this feedback, digest it a little bit, and then we'll run it up with some business stats now. So let's head into the big sheet. It's fun. It's very nice to see how the sheet is growing, right? Like the numbers, I'm not really in control of that. I am in terms of my input, but I'm not the one subscribing to my channel, and I'm not swiping my own credit card in my own business. But it's nice to see that the consistency on paper is starting to pay a little bit off here with me showing up every single day and tracking my numbers. So daily updates had 252. This channel has 6346. My IG has 21022. Daily update 252. Daily update is by far the best one right now. Yesterday was a boring day inside of the business with 0 cost, 0 rev, 0 cash. That is life. So numbers are looking decently healthy on daily updates. It's funny to see how it is actually growing. Like we can see here in the last 7 days, 36 subs. I cannot do that in my head. It's like 5 subs per day, right? 5 subs per day for a whole year, right? That's like 1,800 added to my 250. Then I have a channel with 2,000 subs of me documenting my business. That is the power of long term. You can even do it exponentially, right? If we do it in terms of growing 1% per day, I actually did the math, and then I would have 8K subs. Definitely not 8,000 subs. 8,000 subs, but you get the point. 8K subs in a year. I don't really think that will happen, but hey, that's how it is, you know. So my to-do list, I'll tell you what I did today. I don't have my to-do list open, so I can't show you. So let me think of what I did today. I did some boring stuff by setting up email and DNS. I got a freelancer to help me do it, so that's what I did. And I connected and created my ManyChat and Kit account. And I'm basically ready to start building my email list, so stay tuned for that. I had, how many client calls did I have today? First, I had a weekly call with my community. Then I had 4 one-on-one calls and a sales call, and also status call, so like a check-in call with my agency. So yeah, a long day today, which was very nice, just like building the program. I worked a lot with my graphic designer today for the models for the digital coffee shop, which was very nice. And then client work up until now. I had a pretty important phone call with some boring stuff. And now doing the daily update. So today has been good, right? When I move the needle within my program and my business, I feel good. And then when I serve my clients, I feel even better. And then now when it's 8:30, I'll get some dinner, go for a walk, hit the gym. That's a perfect day in my book. Today, actually, one of the big topics with my client calls was pricing. So I thought I'd just like run you through and drop some game on you in terms of pricing. Because pricing is something that a lot of people have a hard time with, right? So let me give you the different ways that you can price your consulting, coaching, agency service, right? And these are basically definitely not done for you. These are basically the only 3 ways that you can go. So either rev or... So when to pick between these 3 if you're pricing yourself as an agency owner or a coach or consultant? Well, I'll run you through it here, okay? So retainer, pros and cons for a retainer. Let's run it. Pros, it is predictable, right? If you have 10 clients at 2K each per month, you're making 20K. It's kind of like locked and loaded. You know how many hours it takes you to deliver a specific thing. You divide that in terms of how much money you want to make, and then you have an hourly rate, and then you double down. So it's very predictable, it is very safe, and that is usually how most agencies goes about it, right? The cons to it is that it's not really affected by performance. You could do an amazing job, and yet you would still not harvest the fruits of your amazing job. So here in retainer, you want to go for more cash focused, predictability and safety when you do the retainer route, right? Typically it is larger agencies that is playing the volume game of having 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way up to 100 clients, and then basically just like building it. So it's like 10 clients is 20K a month, and then we need 2 full-time people at 4K each. That is 8K to manage these clients, which means that we have 12K in profit, 60% margins, and then we just need to find 2 full-time employees and 20 clients more. And then they kind of like stack it like that, right? The next thing that we have is a setup fee. So when do you want to use a setup fee? Well, a setup fee, you want to use that when you are also taking a profit share or revenue share to increase commitment from the person in front of you. So a setup fee is like, hey, now we're going, right? Like we are on the same team here, we're in the same boat. I'm taking a percentage of your business, but in order for me to build the system that will get your current business from A to B, I need to have a commitment of a specific amount of money for us to start building everything, so that there is somewhat of like a security net for us when we spend so many hours and everything that we do on building the system that will get you from A to B, and we take a cut of the things that we provide, right? So that's typically how you do a setup fee in the agency model. You can also argue that my offer consulting is a setup fee, right? It is a specific price for a specific transformation. In my case, it's 9.5K for a 4 month transformation of going from wherever you are now to wherever you want to go. Of course, it's not like you have 3 wishes and then I'll take you anywhere, right? Maybe you struggle with your sales team. Maybe you want to add ads to predictability and get more clients, whatsoever, right? So it's like a fixed amount for a specific transformation. That is what you can also call a setup. So instead of doing, let's say instead of doing 2K for 6 months, then maybe it's just a one-time fee of 10K for the transformation that takes 6 months. Make sense? Hopefully it does. And then we have rev share or profit. I personally like this one a lot when you know what you're doing. My agency is built on profit shares and not revenue shares. I don't like to take revenue percentages of other businesses. I feel like the game is a little bit skewed when you take off people's revenue, because they also have cost for ads and team members. So we always deduct that, and then we take a profit share that makes you more aligned in terms of your interests, right? Because you're both, the client and you are interested in making sure the bottom line is growing so that your cut gets bigger and the clients keep more money. Of course, it depends on what season you're in. I'm also in a season with some clients where we sacrifice some profit for future growth, because I know I have long contracts in place that will then harvest bigger fruits later on, right? So only do rev share and profit when you know what you're doing, when you have cases and a system and something that works. Then it makes good sense to jump into a business and take a cut of the performance so that you actually get paid equally to the value you bring. Just make sure that it's hard to build a business only on rev share and profit share. The only reason to why I can do it is because I have a good cash flow business that is stable and safe through my consulting, right? So I have the best of both worlds. I have an agency who's growing long term with profit share and profit shares. And I have my consulting business that is built on setup fees, one-time fees, or people splitting the payment into 2 or 3 payments, right? Which is the stability. So that is how you, ladies and gentlemen, price your agency service or consulting services. There's no right or wrong. It all depends on, how do you want to say it? It all depends on the amount of risk you're willing to take, how you want to build your business, and how you sleep well at night. In terms of your cash situation and safety. All right, that is it for today. I really appreciate you watching along. I had to do the video twice, but that's life. You just gotta do what you gotta do, right? So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.